Hey everybody, Jason here. Happy hump day. Hope you guys are all having a great day. So today we are pretty much even on the day. We did take some losses on our Netflix iron condors. I went ahead and closed those out this morning, and thank goodness I did, because we were pretty close to the top side, and then Netflix just like ripped past our top side of our iron condors. So we did take a little bit of loss on those. I think a total of maybe $120 between the two that we had on. So those guys got closed, and that is the only thing I did so far today. So that's kind of just reflected in here. Other than that, I was just looking at rolling out these covered calls on Tesla. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. These are just sold on the shares that we have. So we'll go ahead and do that. We have expiring on Friday. Go find these guys. We will hit buy these guys back, roll them out a whole another week, and we can grab another 44 bucks or so. Continue. We have two of those, and let's see if we can get filled at $43. And there we go, got filled. So now we are another week out at 820. I don't think we're ripping past that $800 level anytime soon, which is why we still are holding on to these 800 call side. I went ahead and opened up one more of these 695 690s. Not recommended. I still think we could potentially have some pullback for some consolidation on Tesla. I think that's definitely possible, but like in the scheme of things, since I have most of my plays down at 660s, 650s and stuff like that, this one being a little bit more aggressive, I'm fine with that. Not too huge. I mean, I'm also not super thrilled that I opened these up a little bit early. I should have waited for a pop. And initially when I had opened these up, I was thinking about opening up half of them and then waiting to see what happened, and if we had a spike up, open up a few more, which in hindsight I should have done. One thing I definitely lack is some patience. Sometimes, or not sometimes, all the times, especially since I look at it all the time and I see things like, ooh, $2,500 worth of buying power. Like, what can I do with that? That's at least, you know, a few more credit spreads. We could collect a couple $100 just opening up, what, 2 credit spreads. We could grab another $200 cash. But there is also, it's also nice to have a little bit of cash, even though it's not huge relative to the account size, just to make plays. If something becomes available, like if we have a big move, we can make a play on it. Other than that, we can just kind of go through what we're looking at for this coming next couple of weeks. So a couple broken wing butterflies, expect those to expire worthless. Same thing with the Coinbase, expect that to expire worthless. I'll probably, is coin down a little bit today? No, it's up. But we'll probably close that. Oh, it's because it's got another week on it. But we'll probably close that out for a couple dollars a piece. On those, we have our covered calls on Tilray. Still not doing overall all that great on the wheel for Tilray, but we have, you know, months, years to play with that guy. We have these guys that we just sold, and obviously we're down a little bit on those. This Apple 162, I rolled that out from a 155. That 155 might have been okay, but I just wanted a little bit more. I wanted a little bit more cushion just in case, because we do have the leaps that we were holding, and that's what this is sold against, and I really don't want any potential of losing the leaps. And if we look at that, we are up, where is it? So on our leaps, we're up $400 on that, plus whatever we sold against it. I think to move that Apple up, we did pay $80, so we're probably still right around $400, 400 bucks to the good side on that Apple play. The drop boxes I showed last couple days that where I'd accidentally bought some, they came to life a little bit, so I grabbed a few dollars a piece on those, the ones that I'd accidentally bought at 36. Sold those, but these are sold against leaps that I have. DraftKings, same thing, they're sold against the leaps, and those are actually doing pretty decent. And this is a good one to look at, just how we've held it. Like, I did pay $2,700 for this originally, but and it came down quite a bit. We were up to $3,400 on that at one point, but then also down to $1,000. So but we have a ton of time on that. We have until January 2023 on that leaps. So that's actually looking pretty decent finally. Covered calls on a lot of stock that we own, leaps that we own, put credit spread when the SPY dumped. We have, and then we get into our put credit spreads and call credit spreads. This is something, these 9/17s being 2 weeks out, that's something that I wanted to look at rolling out this Friday, but also potentially on Monday. I think I want to let this decay, because I don't really want to have this as a loser. It always sucks to have a loser. But for every, we lost $500 on this side, but all of our put credit spreads, we made quite a bit more than what we lost here. So if it happens, we just basically didn't make as much profit as we could have, only holding the put credit spread side. And but if we see Tesla kind of stagnate, which just, taking a peek at it, if it'll populate, I kind of think that's what can happen. We're not really hitting any specific resistance level or support level right now, so I feel like it's a little bit in limbo, but I also don't see it hitting anywhere near 800 in the next couple of weeks, so that's why I'm fine with holding those. Of course, as we talk about it, it's it's losing a little bit more and more, but we will look either, like I said, Friday, so 2 days, or Monday potentially, before we roll these out. And what I'll end up having to do, since I don't want to necessarily pay $1,700 or $1,800 to close those out, we'll probably just close them all out in like large chunks. So we'll close, for example, we'll close these 14 with 14 of these, and we'll close 11 of these with 11 of the call side, and just close them all out, and then open up some new positions 2 to 3 more weeks out. Coinbase, another put credit spread on that. Some Googles that we're looking pretty good on. Google's been just ripping away. And then some more of those calls that I sold against the puts that we have. 924 Amazon put credit spread that we're looking super good on. Amazon, another thing that ripped. Kind of makes me, in hindsight, wish I would have paid to roll out the loser that we had a week or two ago, but that's just the way it goes. And then we do have this long butterfly, which is looking pretty good. We are up 34% on this, and I think we're just going to hold on to this for a bit. We paid $182 on this. It's worth $240, so we're up a little bit above 30%. Originally, I did have a closing order at 30%, and that was just based on, it looked like over the next like coming few days, like a week out, even if Tesla really hadn't have moved, we'd have been at this 30% range. But now, with it kind of on that uptrend, I think we could potentially take the profits at maybe 100% or so. But I will update that as that goes, and I think that's about it until we get kind of to the end of the year, and we can take a look at those. We have some kind of yellowish ones where if Tesla hits $1,000 or so by the end of the year, which could potentially happen. Not feeling as confident as I was 6 months ago that could happen, but I think the 800s are definitely within range. And then a lot of these I think are almost like a kind of no-brainer here. These, the 700s, 675s, 660s, all these guys should be looking pretty good. I may look at taking some profits or possibly even rolling these back a little bit sooner than later, just depending on what they look like. We have some MGM call one that I sold a long time ago that we're a big loser on. So I'll be losing those 100 shares, but no big deal. I think our cost basis on MGM is very, very cheap. And then that $30 YOLO on Palantir, which I think we originally paid about $300 for, but kind of never know with that. And then we have things that are very far out. I did get a debit spread at 1,050. That is January 2023. So a long ways out. We're a little bit up on that, but maximum $5,000 gain for a play that I paid almost $1,000 for, $995. Snapchat debit spread that we originally had just the call, the leaps on, sold the call against it. So now we're profitable kind of no matter what. This pays us to hold this, and we do have a $5,000 upside, or excuse me, $1,500 upside on that, as long as Snap ends up above $75 come 2023. And some leaps on Palantir, which are doing quite well. We paid $660, so thank you again for whoever called that out during the live stream. Just seeing that these seemed very, very cheap. We have a ton of time on them. What our break even is $26.60, and Palantir being within $40 of it, or 40 cents of it, excuse me. I think those are looking pretty juicy. Then we have the ones that are expiring June of next year. Those are still looking pretty good. I think the first one we paid $820 for, so we're just kind of break even on that. And then when Palantir dropped a little bit, I kept adding to it, so we do have 4 of these, and this is between these 4 and these 2. That is what I'm going to exercise in order to purchase my final, 600 shares of Palantir, giving us a little bit over 1,000 total. And I've stopped my daily purchase. I think I mentioned that yesterday of Palantir, just because we're at that $26 level, and with those leaps, that is going to put my cost basis right there. So no need to purchase them, because I'm not averaging down anymore. 1,000 shares is my goal. I don't really need any more of that, more than that, and that is what, $20,000 worth. I think that's fine. All right, guys, any questions? Holy smokes, I thought I was just about to say short little video. Not at all. 12-13 minutes. So sorry we made this so long. Anyways, any questions, please let me know. Do my best to answer. Love you guys. Let's make a lot of money.